Join us live inside the 880 KRVN headquarters for today's Morning Roundup. Over the course of the next 30 minutes, KRVN broadcasters will share the latest in weather, markets, and agriculture news. Join us this morning for topics and guests, including Clay Patton on weather and markets, Jayson Jorgensen with sports, Mark Gold with Top Third Ag on the grain markets, Jerry Stoll with country futures on the livestock markets, and Alex Makovicka with agriculture news. Let's head inside the KRVN studios, joining Clay Patton with the latest in weather.
Legion Hall. Speaker Brian Reinke, Director of Agronomy for Monty's Plant Food, will discuss the importance of humics and sugars for soil systems improvement to bridge soil fertility and plant nutrients, leading to better yields. This free informational meeting includes lunch, so please RSVP to Greg Grauerholtz at 785-476-5037.
Pivot control has never been easier. T&L Irrigation now offers a new control panel called Precision Point Touch. It's a full-color, 7-inch graphic touchscreen that's easy to use and gives you lots of great tools to make your irrigation faster and more efficient. Set up your pivots the way you want. You can update your older controls to the new Precision Point control panel too. Call your local T&L dealer or visit TLIRR.com. T&L Irrigation, like no other.
In Columbus, see Hoppy Irrigation, or in Hastings, see T&L Irrigation.
The 880 KRVN Newsroom is the essential link to your world, nation, and community.
For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Bob Brogan.
Local and regional news updates on the half hour.
On the Rural Radio Network, I'm Dave Schroeder.
Fox News at the top of every hour, and breaking coverage as it happens.
Reporting for the Rural Radio Network, I'm Ellen Simmons.
Depend on the KRVN News Team.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Morning Roundup on 880 KRVN. Clay Patton back with you here on this blustery and chilly Wednesday, February the 22nd. I hope you're off to a great start midweek. But batten down the hatches. It's going to be cold and windy for the next 3 days. Today, just kind of getting us started off with it, as we could see some light snowfall in and across the region. The northern and western reaches of Nebraska, of course, so likely to see the most snow out of that. The further east you go, east of the Tri-Cities into eastern Nebraska, they could see a rain-snow mix on the day. That could cause some icing issues, so be cautious if you've got travel plans out and across the region as well. Highs today likely to be somewhere in the upper teens to 20s, cooling again this afternoon. We could see a 10-plus degree drop, so could be some areas there in southeast Nebraska that actually even reach into the 30s from that. Tonight's going to be even more brisk as lows head down for 0 to near 7, 10 below. That's going to give us some of our coldest wind chills about 24 hours from now in the early morning hours of Thursday. That's when those wind chills will be 30 to 40 below, with 35 to 40 mile an hour winds coming along with it. Coming up, we're going to check in with the latest factors influeing the commodity trade here on KRVN. Those factors this morning are brought to you by Ward Laboratories. Thank you to Ward Laboratories for their continuing support. The latest support we always get out from Ward's is that. We'll be checking in with the Rural Radio Network coming up here in a little over a minute. Right now at KRVN, it's 14 degrees. 79% humidity outside with north winds at 29, gusting 35, and a wind chill of -7. We'll join the Rural Radio Network next.
This winter's frigid temperatures, wind, snow, and road travel have caused 13 full days of closings at Bruce Furniture, resulting in a huge overstock at all locations. Only choice, clear this inventory immediately with dramatic price reductions store-wide. Must sell over $960,000 of in-stock furniture and mattresses. Famous brands, Lazy Boy, England, Serta, FlexSteel, Ashley, and more. Long-term, no-interest financing, free delivery and setup through February 25th only at Bruce Furniture.
Ray Ward always says you don't put more fuel in the tank if the gauge says it's full. The same applies for fertilizing your fields. Why apply fertilizer in areas of high fertility and starve areas in need? Soil testing ensures you put your fertilizer dollars where it counts to reduce environmental impact and maximize production. Ask your retailer or crop consultant to submit your soil samples to Nebraska farmers' favorite lab, Ward Laboratories in Kearney. Visit wardlab.com to learn more.
Good morning. Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network. And now it's time to take a look at the factors influencing the commodity trade today. On the line with us from Chicago's Mark Gold with Top Third Ag Marketing. Good morning, Mark.
Well, good morning. Overnight, we had March corn down 2 1/4 cents at 6.78 1/4. March wheat down 7 3/4 cents at 7.42 3/4. and March beans down 3 3/4 cents at 15.45. It looks like the Egyptian tender is going to go to Russia. They were the cheapest bid by far at 317.50 a ton. Tomorrow morning we'll get the Ag Forum numbers. Most people are expecting higher corn acres, lower bean acres, but still a pretty good bean number. We've got the Mato Grosso bean harvest 60% complete, which is ahead of the average. Serafina corn, though, is only 50% planted versus 63 on average. We had big surprise rains in Argentina last night, and that's really what caused the beans to break as much as 12 cents off their highs. Ukraine is looking for a one-year extension on their export corridor deal with Russia. Russia's going to probably play hardball, but I think they'll get something done. Tomorrow, today, we're going to get the FOMC markets. They're going to tell us what they think interest rates are going to do, and we'll see how that affects the stock market out here. But there was a survey of analysts saying 90.9 million acres of corn will be planted this year and 88.6 million acres of beans.
And that is the latest from Mark Gold there with Top Third Ag Marketing. Always learn more at topthird.com. In the website to visit is topthird.com. Do remember, trading futures and options involve risk of loss. It may not be suitable for all investors. Do consider these risks before investing. If you'd like to listen to Mark again, visit the podcast tab at ruralradionetwork.com.
There's nothing like seeing a big number on your combine's yield monitor. The seeds of your harvest started here in the Pioneer Research Lab, where we use advanced breeding technologies to bring seed innovations to your fields faster. So you can be confident that Pioneer will help you enjoy more harvest moments year after year. That's what it takes to earn the name Pioneer. What's next happens here. Learn more at pioneer.com/next.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Clay Patton back on the Rural Radio Network. Now let's check in over on your livestock side of the trade. And to do so, we're going to talk with Jerry Stoll of Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Clay. Outside markets, big moves here. S&P's up 5, dollar index up down 2, crude oil down 27, Dow futures up 45. Last night's lean hog index was 74.64 up 23, and the pork cutout value fell 471 to 83.01. Good strong closes on Tuesday in the hogs, and we'll call them mixed to a little better when we open up here at 8:30. Cattle complex, the latest feeder cattle index is, these numbers are all kind of jumbled everywhere whenever there's a holiday, but I think the latest one here, including the Mondays, was 182.21 down 42. Choice beef cutout value last night 287.20 up 431. And we did see some trade get started in the north, and the good news is it was higher money. Nebraska reported 1,879 head from 160 to 161, and I think there was even some 162 trade late, and Iowa reported trade at 164. So it's indicating maybe a $2 higher trend, so that gives the South hope of maybe getting as high as 164 this week. Futures know it. They're pricing it in, and they've watched this whole rally now for over a week, and there's continues to be resistance between 165 and 6 at April cattle. We'll call the market just mixed here this morning when we open up.
And that's Jerry Stoll, Country Futures in Frankfort, Kansas. You can always learn more at countryfutures.com. Again, it's countryfutures.com. Do remember, trading futures and options involve risk of loss, may not be suitable for all investors. Consider these risks before investing. Looking out at your estimated cattle slaughter on the day. Over on the cattle side, it is 125,000 head for a Wednesday. Hog slaughter estimated at 480,000 head. And that's a look to the factors influencing the commodity trade on the Rural Radio Network.
Take the wheel and take control of your auto insurance premium with the Drive for Less program from Battle Creek Mutual Insurance. When you drive safe, all roads lead to a lower cost on your auto insurance. Simply track your driving habits with your Battle Creek mobile app, and you can save up to 30% on your premium just by driving safe. Talk about driving a bargain. Download, drive safe. Get the app today from Battle Creek Mutual Insurance.
Welcome back to 880 KRVN. Good morning to the folks tuning in on the morning roundup. Hope you're having a good start to your Wednesday. We just checked in on the latest factors influencing the commodity trade, that on KRVN, sponsored by Ward Laboratories. Well, welcome inside the KRVN studio. For those listening on air, we're streaming live at our Facebook page as well as our YouTube and Twitter channels. So if you want to see what it actually looks like in here and the reason I have a face for radio, why don't you head on over, let us know where you're listening from in the comments. If you want to let us know too if there's any weather or anything happening in your area, let us know that there as well, and we'll go back and forth. Right now, though, we're getting ready. We've got Jayson Jorgensen joining us, and he has the latest for us in sports on 880 KRVN, your number one farm station in the nation.
Remember how dark it was on your first snipe hunt or cow tipping adventure? Well, that was blazing sunshine compared to finding those heavies at 3 in the morning. Just think how handy it would have been if you'd had a Go Light remote control light from Go Light Manufacturing in Culbertson on your cow tipping excursion. Well, fortunately, you now have that option with the Striker Series Go Lights, built to take the rigors of ranching life. A Go Light is a must-have when it comes to calving season. Lots of models to choose from, so go online at GoLight.com or call Go Light Manufacturing in Culbertson to find the dealer nearest you.
Everyone talks about service. However, not everybody delivers. But over the years, Western Sprinklers, your Valley dealer in Colby, has built not only their reputation, but their business on service. Of course, the Valley name speaks for itself. It is well known as a leader in the irrigation industry, and service is a main reason that Western Sprinkler's customers keep coming back. Western Sprinkler not only talks about service, they deliver. For quality irrigation equipment and superior service, call Western Sprinklers in Colby, where irrigation isn't a sideline, it's their specialty.
Hi, everyone. Adam Marshall with 2 upcoming online auctions. March 14th is our large online no reserve equipment auction. This auction will feature equipment from the Dakey estate, including a 2011 John Deere 9670 combine, a 2004 John Deere 8220 mechanical front tractor, and a John Deere 4560 tractor, plus many other items. Call to consign. Then, April 4th is an online auction for farm and construction toys. Call to consign for this auction. We are accepting items now. Learn more about these selling opportunities at marshallbid.com.
And as promised, Jayson Jorgensen is in the house, and Jayson has the latest for us in sports.
Well, in top 25 college basketball action last night, Creighton led at the half, but 10th-ranked Marquette came back to nip the 19th-ranked Jays 73-71. Another action, it was 14th-ranked Kansas State picking up a nice 75-65 win over 9th-ranked Baylor, and Michigan State, they upset 17th-ranked Indiana 80-65. The Nebraska women's basketball team closes out Big Ten regular season road action tonight. Huskers are on the road at 25th ranked Illinois. That one tips off at 7. We'll have it for you on 880 KRVN. Lots of sub-district basketball action last night for the girls of the A1. It was Norfolk over North Platte, winning that one 53-39. Grand Island fell to Omaha Burke of the A3. In Class B action for the girls, at the B6, it was York over Seward, and at the B7, Northwest outlasted McCook 40-37 in overtime. In boys sub-district play, Aurora and Central City moved on to the C1-8. At the C1-9, it was Adams Central and Kearney Catholic winning, and at the C1-10, Centura knocked out Broken Bow 56-33, and St. Paul was a big winner over Ord. At the C1-11, 2 really good games. Cozad pushed their way past Chase County, and Holdridge found a way to knock off Gothenburg 47-46. To the C1-12, it was Ogallala over Valentine. At the C2-9, Amherst fought off Grand Island Central Catholic, and it was Don von Trumbull over Nebraska Christian. At the C2-10, St. Cecilia and Thayer Central each won as Thayer Central beat Alma 48-41. And at the C2-11, it was Hershey over Sand Hills Valley, and Highline notched a 5-point win over Maxwell. At the D1-7, Ansley, Litchfield, and Pleasanton each advanced. At the D1-8, Kennesaw and Sandy Creek were winners. At the D1-9, Loomis stopped Axtell, and Southern Valley pulled off a big upset, edging Bertrand 52-49. At the ultra-tough D1-10, Maywood Hayes Center, they knocked off Elm Creek by 10, and it was St. Pat's by 17 over South Loop. And at the D1-11, Dundee County, Stratton, and Hitchcock County each picked up victories. In other action last night, Shelton and Red Cloud, they each advanced. At the D2-8, Sand Hills, Thedford, and SCM were winners. And at the D2-9, Medicine Valley and Wallace each notched victories. It'll be the third meeting tonight between Lexington and Northwest as they will slug it out at the B7 subdistricts in McCook. Now, Lexington won the first game. Northwest was a big winner in the second. The Minutemen have played both teams in this sub-district, and head coach Zach Jones talks about where he feels the Minutemen are at.
We've been competitive with a lot of teams. I think our guys know that if they play the full 4 quarters, they can beat these teams. I think both the teams in our sub-district, Northwest and McCook Northwest, we beat once, lost to once. In McCook, we played a really competitive game down to the wire against them. So I feel like they're confident the fact that they can compete, but we just have to put it all together.
Tip-off is set for 6. We'll bring you the game on Cami Country. And former Husker and K-State quarterback Adrian Martinez yesterday was the 15th pick of the New Jersey Generals in the USFL draft. He will be playing for former Nebraska head coach Mike Riley, who's in his second year coaching the Generals. That's all the good sports. For more, but at any time at KRVN.com.
Are you disappointed with
Blue
weaning weight?
Salutes. I'm Alex Makovicka on the Rural Radio Network, and joining us is McKenna Model of the Palmer FFA chapter. McKenna, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you guys do a cool thing within your FFA chapter called the Heifer Project. Tell us a little bit more about this.
Well, this kind of came about my 8th grade year. We had just had a new advisor come in. So one of the ways that we wanted to get involved was to get a heifer. And that was kind of just the really, really beginning stages and how to where are we going to put this heifer? Where are we going to keep this heifer? Are we going to get a barn for her? So right now we're at a point where it's kind of a standstill because we got to get a time where we can go and build the fence. We have our shed there that our heifer will stay in eventually once we get one. There is power out there, so we just need to kind of build the fence and get the heifer, and then we're kind of set.
McKenna, this is an opportunity for your FFA chapter to really dive in to livestock production. Walk me through some of the skills you guys hope to learn as FFA members.
Well, this is a huge responsibility because, you're taking care of a cow and eventually a calf. And so that comes with feeding, watering, and which is calving. You got to be checking her often, making sure that if she is calving, that everything goes smoothly. And this will be good for our animal science students to learn about reproductive things in animals, and it'd be just a really fun project that we get a lot of learning things out of.
Great things to come for McKenna, I'm sure. McKenna, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.
That again, McKenna Model joining us of the Palmer FFA chapter for this True Blue Salute on the Rural Radio Network.
Dramatic products.
It is 8:23 at 880 KRVN. A winter storm warning posted for much of northern and western Nebraska through 6 a.m. tomorrow. The warning is along and northwest of a line from Pierce to Bartlett, Brewster, Stapleton, and Ogallala. 4 to 8 inches of snow region-wide, while local areas could exceed a foot or a little over a foot. Unfortunately, Valentine, we're looking right down the barrel at you. Looks like things could get fairly snowy here over the next 24 hours. So keep up to date with KRVN's Facebook page as well as the weather tab at krvn.com for the latest in warnings, watches, and advisories. Ag Valley Co-op of Edison brings you ag news and the opening markets coming up here in 60 seconds.
You're getting antsy, wanting to get in the field, but all you can do is walk around and look at your stuff. Then you noticed it. Some of the tires on your tractors, trucks, and equipment is in worse shape than a Chinese spy balloon. Time to get a hold of Nebraska Land, Kansas Land, or Colorado Land Tire Group. These guys can handle any type of ag tire, from the biggest tractor and combine tires to truck tires to sprayers, planters, and tillage equipment. And if you can't get it to them, they can come to you. Online at thetirestore.com. Nebraska Land, Kansas Land, and Colorado Land Tire. If you're out of air or need repair, these guys care.
Farmers, Ag Valley Co-op is now offering the new Free Price Later program. It's here to help you get bushels off your farm sooner, as bushels will have free storage at the elevator until December 31st, 2023. By doing this, you can eliminate quality concerns and even be able to capture a market opportunity, all with no storage cost. Direct your questions to Brian, Fran, or Bryce at 800-228-1352. Ag Valley Co-op, building tomorrow together.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Alex Makovicka joining you now with a look at the latest in agriculture news. Tractor Supply has partnered with country music stars for an emerging artist program. TSC announced today the launch of that inaugural emerging artist program. It's in partnership with country music artists Lainey Wilson, Ashley McBride, Jimmy Allen, Dustin Lynch, along with the Opry Entertainment Group. The group will discover and support emerging artists who live and love what Tractor Supply calls life out here. Now through March 15th, emerging artists can submit the original song inspired by the Out Here lifestyle to their website. Tractor Supply will name the final 5 emerging artists in May and pair each one with an established mentor. Well, Palmer FFA students are taking ownership of their agricultural education experiences by creating new hands-on opportunities to learn. The students are in the process of launching their heifer project. This project will feature a heifer for the students to be fully responsible for year-round. Palmer FFA chapter reporter McKenna Model.
Well, this is like a huge responsibility because, you're taking care of a cow and eventually a calf. And so that comes with feeding, watering, calving. You got to be checking her often, making sure that if she is calving, that everything goes smoothly. And this will be good for our animal science students to learn about reproductive things in animals. It'd be just a really fun project that we get a lot of learning things out of.
That again, Palmer FFA chapter reporter and sophomore McKenna Model. The heifer project, she said, is funded through the Nebraska FFA Foundation's local chapter grant program. You can find the full video at ruralradionetwork.com. Well, the Timmerman Feed Yard Management Internship is now accepting applications for its next phase of interns. It's a nationally renowned feed yard management training program that's exclusive to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. It's been producing feed yard management and industry leaders since 1988. It's designed for students interested in pursuing a career in beef feed yard management or other ag-related business areas. The program trains students through comprehensive feed yard and personnel management classes with real-world experiences in established Midwest feed yards. The Timmerman Feed Yard Management Internship application closes on March 1st. You can visit the Livestock tab at ruralradionetwork.com for more information. A few other headlines we're following this morning at ruralradionetwork.com. The USDA says the number of farms and ranches declined in 2022. However, the data indicates that some Nebraska farms and ranches are being acquired by other operations that continue to increase in acreage as the acreage number remained the same. Also, the Nebraska FFA organization continues to expand in members and chapters. All of those details at our website. You can bookmark it, ruralradionetwork.com. Broadcasting from inside the Nebraska Soybean World Studios, which is brought to you in part by Nebraska's soybean farmers and their checkoff. You're listening to Agriculture News on the Rural Radio Network.
Simmental Bulls, that is, at the Bulls of the Prairie sale Saturday, March 11th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Rain Simmental Ranch, 5 miles west of Oakley, Kansas. This offering of 35 black and red Simmental and Sim Angus bulls, along with 20 black and red Simmental and Sim Angus heifers. Find Rain Simmental on Facebook for details. It's Rainin' Bulls at the Bulls of the Prairie sale Saturday, March 11th at the Rain Simmental Ranch. For questions or a catalog, call McKellen Rains at 785-953-0575.
The Massey Ferguson 9800 series takes the trusted systems from White Planters and combines them with the precision planting technology straight from the factory. Our planters provide the speed, accuracy, and assurance needed to deliver the yields you expect. Come talk with the trusted experts at Regeer Equipment and get 10% off your White Planter parts in February and March. We are your premier precision dealer and your White Planter experts. Regeer Equipment in Madrid.
Hi everyone, Adam Marshall here. The recently advertised Pivot Irrigated Farm for sale in Dawson County is now sold and no longer available. We are currently experiencing an active land market in central Nebraska. We have sold over 1,200 acres of farmland in 2023 so far. We have current farm and ranch listings in Franklin, Buffalo, and Custer counties totaling 3,573 acres. Contact our team if you are buying or selling land in Nebraska. We can help you through the entire process. That's Adam Marshall Land and Auction of Kearney, your farm and ranch brokers.
The Cattleman's Cup Bull Sale is February 23rd at the ranch near Brewster, Nebraska. Over 65 bulls will be selling with sires represented, including Myers, Fair and Square, Marcy's Panhandle, Sits Resilient, and more. If you're looking for bulls that are naturally sound, stout, and good-footed, don't miss the Cattleman's Cup Bull Sale on February 23rd at the ranch near Brewster, Nebraska, starting at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. For more information, go to thecattleman'scut.com or like their Facebook page, The Cattleman's Cut. That's quality bred on, not fed on.
Good morning, Clay Patton on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at your opening commodity trade. Lower is the overnight session as the wheat, the soybean complex, corn all breaking to the downside. The soybeans pressured with rains in Argentina, and Mark Gold of Top Third Ag Marketing actually described the rains as somewhat surprising and not expected by many forecasters. Meanwhile, Russia is the cheapest bid on the latest Egyptian tender, and the prices just continue to drop. Aside from the nuclear talk at President Putin's speech yesterday, he also noted he wants to increase grain exports from 45 million metric tons to 60 million metric tons this year. Well, maybe a little bit of a logistical challenge that shows that Russia wants to flood the world with cheaper grain. Over on the livestock side of the trade, the opening salvo is mixed to lower again as well. March corn 677 3/4, down 2 3/4. May corn 677 1/4, down 3 1/4. July corn 666 1/2, down 2 3/4. March soybeans 1542 1/4, down 6 1/2. May beans 1537 1/2, down 6 1/2. July soybeans 1530, down 6 3/4. March Chicago wheat 743 3/4, down 6 3/4. May 755 3/4, down 1/4, down 7 1/4. July 761 3/4, down 7 1/4. March Kansas City wheat 889 1/2, down 14 3/4. May 881 1/2, down 12. July KC 872 1/4, down 9 1/4. February live cattle $64.45, down 30. April $64.70, down 37. June $60.72, down 15. April feeders $90.45, down 35. August feeders $207.77, down 60. May lean hogs at $96.72, down 45. June $104.10, down $1.17.
What has your talc graphite